after that, he got all of his family's wealth and just decided to party a lot and do rich things stuff. Well, one day he was on his yacht till he fell down to a water, well, the water, and then got stranded on an island. On this island, he survived making arrows from wood and rocks and vines and stuff. He became an expert archer in less than a few years. Stopped some criminals that were using his machineries, and then went back to Star City as the Green Arrow. Green Arrows prepare for almost any occasion. He carries an arrow for basically anything. Flashlight arrows, boxing glove arrows, plunger arrows, drill arrows, diamond-tipped arrows, grappling hook arrows, nitrogen cold arrows, and so much more. He has a parachute arrow for some reason, but hey, it comes in handy. Also has grappling hook arrows, and let's not forget that he also has the kryptonite arrows. But if Green Arrow wants to get lethal, he'll bust out the warhead arrow, which has the power of an atomic warhead. Green Arrow can keep up with Deadshot, who almost never misses, had the skill to keep up and survive a battle against Batman, and even Deathstroke. Hell, Deathstroke even himself admitted that he's pretty good. He can react and dodge gunfire, can survive a hit from a brutally pissed Superman, he survived a bite from a panther and even shook it off like it was nothing, reacted to someone that was able to shoot lightning and then defeated him, while backwards. Only a fool would underestimate the name Green Arrow.
Star, it's good to be on Battleground. Thanks for having me. You know, I'm just here to cover Legolas for you. Since I am a huge fan of both Green Arrow and Legolas, I actually own all Lord of the Rings, I own all the Hobbits, the books, which is funny because Legolas isn't actually in the Hobbit books per se. He is in the Lord of the Rings and he is in the Hobbit movie. I'm going to be going over him momentarily, going over his stats, his age, what he can actually do, and what's he going to bring to the battleground to battle with. Starting now. Now, Legolas, around the time of the War for the Ring, basically in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, you could say, he's around 3,000 years old. To be a little more precise for you folks, he's actually 2,931 years of age, meaning one out of two things, or two things. He has a lot of experience, a lot of combat experience, and experiences in war. He is definitely very experienced, highly experienced in wars. He has a lot of stamina, as shown when he can fight in these wars throughout the entire day, taking out up to 50 orcs by himself. Orcs that are actually superior to him, that are actually superior to Legolas in strength. Speaking of superior strength, Legolas is actually a woodland elf. He's an elf, and it's actually pretty clear in the Lord of the Rings Hobbit series that the elves are actually superior physically than the humans. And most humans in the Lord of the Rings are actually peak human, folks. Believe it or not, yeah, a lot of people in that movie, going off what they can do, they're definitely peak human. Legolas is superior to them physically and in terms of speed and reaction speed, as he can actually react to point blank arrows. He can actually catch other archers' arrows easily, I might add. And speaking of archery, Legolas Greenleaf is a perfect archer. I'm not even exaggerating. He has actually never once missed a target. In fact, he's such a good archer with his accuracy. He has such good accuracy. He managed to literally take down a large elephant-like creature that's obviously a few times larger than an elephant just by pointing out its soft spot, taking his arrow out, casually shooting it right between the eyes. This thing dropped. That's how good his accuracy is and his archery. Now it is safe to say he is also trained with other weaponry such as swords, knives, as shown when he actually has used a knife before in The Lord of the Rings to take down an orc. He also has eternal youth as shown when he's over 2,000 years old and he still looks like he's, I don't know, about early 20s, something like that. He's fought alongside the badass dwarf Gimli, the badass peak human who actually became king, spoiler alert, Aragorn. And together they actually took down multiple large orcs, multiple large creatures in their day. Legolas has so much stamina and endurance, as shown he can go the entire day in the war with really not even being scathed. Obviously he's a little tired out, but if you watch, he definitely shows impressive stamina and endurance, to say at the very least, folks. So to basically sum him up and give you the gist of things, Legolas Greenleaf altogether is over 2,000 years old. He has over 2,000 years of experience, war experience, combat experience under his belt. He's a perfect archer, has never missed his target, has great accuracy. He's been proven more physical and faster than all of the peak humans in Lord of the Rings and Hobbit series as a whole. He's taken down multiple orcs by himself, aggressive, bloodlusted orcs by himself. He does have eternal youth, and he actually is more or less immune to most toxins and poisons that were back then that would actually affect a normal peak human. Yes, the elves weren't exactly affected by these toxins and or poisons back in the day as the humans and dwarfs were. It's obviously proven the elves are actually above everything else in terms of stats, wisdom, except compared to the wizards, but that's another story for another day. So anyways, I hope this helped you out, Simple Star. Can't wait to see the battle on the battleground. I'll let you get back to what you do best. I'll catch you later. Korin Okeefe out. Holler if you need me, my boy. Peace.
Korin, and I'm glad to have you on the battleground. Now let's discuss why the winner is Legolas. I don't even know why I put the green arrow picture here. Well, just to make it simple, Star. It's pretty simple that Legolas pretty much outclasses Green Arrow in every single category. Now, while Green Arrow did have the advantage on having better training and has a better arsenal, that's not quite gonna help him when an opponent is much stronger, much faster, much more durable, much more experienced, and has actual close combat weapons. Yeah, things like nitrogen Kool-Aid, nitrogen cool arrows, and warhog arrows could change the matchup. It's easily able to dodge those. Yeah, Legolas can easily dodge both of those arrows completely just fine. and thanks to his hearing, he would easily know they're coming. But Simple Star, Green Arrow kept up with Batman and Deathstroke. Well, that is impressive, but through most of their fights, we clearly see Deathstroke and Batman having a superb advantage throughout the whole fight. So it's not that impressive. Oh, but he took a hit from Superman and survived. Well, that would be very impressive if it wasn't for this. The fact is, after he got slapped like that, he said he really couldn't feel anything. So he basically was nearly dead. The only way that Green Arrow could pull out a win is he pull out the Green Lantern ring or his mech suit. Now, while those two things sound very powerful and deadly, he needs outside help and prep time to actually use both of those things and cannot do so naturally. And besides, this is a fight with standard gear. In a fight with prep time, I'm pretty sure Green Arrow would take this fight pretty easily, thanks to his mech suit and arrows being able to hurt opponents that can literally tear apart planets. So, with superior strength, durability, speed, and experience, I have to give this fight to Legolas. The winner is Legolas. Also thanks to my good buddy Korin for being featured and helping me out with the research for Legolas in this episode. Thanks, bud.